Now, Rymir and versus Grandpa Z. Now, if you know Grandpa Z, you know who I'm talking about. Sean Carter, aka the Warlock, aka he can sing music, he can feel music, and he can touch music. He has a gift that a lot of people don't have, you know. So Rymir, he's been out here for years trying to find out if Grandpa Z is his biological father. And by right, I feel like every child should know who their father is. I feel like every child should know who their parents are, good, bad, or indifferent. So as you know, his mother, Miss Wanda, she passed away a couple like before COVID, I believe she passed away. I'm not too sure, but unfortunately, she was looking for to get a DNA test for this man for a long time, and I heard that they had gave her hell to get in contact with him, from what I understand. But from what I know, they're saying that she's been asking about him since Rymir was here. She said that at the time she didn't know if it was another man or if it was Sean Carter, allegedly. And kind of find out the DNA test was done, and they found out the guy that she was raising Rymir with, it wasn't his dad. So it came back to another possibility that it might be Grandpa Z, aka Sean Carter. So he's been going through hell trying to get the closure that he needs and the answers that he needs to be answered in order for him to get closure and a solution to what he's been trying to accomplish. So, Rymir, I'm gonna just say this right now, bro. Watch your back. You know, it's been said that he spoke about he has been, attacked. And they attacked his vehicle. He said he came to go to work one day to start his car, and there was bullets in his car. We've heard some stories that he's been going through some very violent threats while trying to, get the closure that he needs with his father. But you don't handle things like that. But people, they love him so much they'll do anything for him. They just love him that much. They'll they'll unleash a generational curse and take out his own child. Like, really? Is that how we handle our people when they want to know answers? We take them out of here? But when God said the generational curse, thou shalt be an evil eye to our own brother, he was telling the truth. My people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge. Not only are we destroyed, but we reject knowledge. Don't be no priest to me. Depart from me, I never knew thee. Okay? So, Rymir, he's trying to get the closure that he needs. And this time he has found a judge that might be able to get that calendar date. They was able to get a calendar date on a calendar. And this judge is starting to say, you know what? We've been handling this case for a while, and we need you to get on this calendar and get to your business. And for him to keep running all of these years is making him look like, yeah, you probably are the father, because there's no reason why you could be running this long from a young man like this. But will you be able to get closure, Rymir? Or will you feel like, you know what? After I find out if he does submit a sample of DNA, will it be closure for you? Or will you have more mountains to climb in order for you to get closure? From what I heard, that he was responding back to the aunt and he was suing her and her property. I've heard he put a lien on her property. I've heard stories that he's putting a lien on her property because she's helping Rymir get the closure that he needs. And I've heard he's starting to do some collateral damage. And all of this is for what? Because you want to run like the cowardly camel you want to be, instead of stepping to your business like a man, like you were supposed to do years ago, before you was even with Beyonce, before Reasonable Doubt came out. You knew Rymir was here. So he was able to slip through the cracks, and he was able to, oh yeah. But the one thing about the projects, everybody know everybody in the projects, especially in Brooklyn. Like, people know who's doing what and who baby belong to who. Understand that. So, Rymir, I hope you get the clothes you need, but you gotta understand this. Watch your back. Cause who's gonna run this town tonight? He gonna run this town. Yeah, he's a warlock. So you got to be careful with him. Cause he'll pull a fast one on you. Because you know, they love to, oh, he's a billionaire, he's a billionaire, he's a billionaire. Yeah, he's a billionaire who's morally bankrupt. What if a man that gained the whole world but lose his soul? One of those kind of individuals. So, Rymir, be careful. I hope you get the closure you can get. And I hope this brings you some type of peace. And there's no guarantee you're going to get any type of trust fund or royalties or money out of it. Don't even expect that. If I was you, I wouldn't ask that man for nothing. I just would be like, you know what? I just wanted you to know. You know, like, I'm here. You ignored me for all these years, and look. But the disgust and disgrace that he'll have on his face when you got to meet him eye to eye, oh boy. Whew. I wouldn't even be one to be. I would be a fly on the wall, looking to see how he would look at you with such hatred in his eyes, as if you despise him because you're just here, and you want some of his money, and he's like, I'm not giving him nothing. You know, just bitter. And he's growing into an older man like that. He's gonna be 60 years old still with that same attitude, that Machiavellian attitude, that God implex the Hova attitude. He think he's God anyway, you know. But sometimes when you have all of these, you know, material things, it falsifies your common sense. So we hope that Rymir gets the closure that he needs. And Rymir, you gotta watch your back. Watch your back, because you know that's a warlock right there. He like to spend his money and sometimes to do evil things. Keep coming back and want to be revealed.